I'm gonna go to the thing and like change the time.
They wanted, I think, to be 1 North Front Street. Is it?
Yeah. But then she said it's your home address because you're responsible for the car.
This is horseshit.
It's total horseshit.
You are not responsible.
I'm
The
not.
organization is
No, I'm very
responsible for the
responsible,
car.
but it's not
I'm
me.
sorry for the horseshit comment.
No, it's okay.
Well, horseshit really isn't a profanity, it's
Okay.
you know.
I feel like I'm caught up in the Trump wave. Inappropriate speech.
Yeah.
I was never like
Christine,
that.
do we have a
I'll bet you weren't.
I wasn't.
forum?
I never talked like that.
No, I don't like it.
12 is
I
our
always
membership.
apologize before I do.
1,
say
2,
forgive.
You do,
4,
forgive me.
5, 6,
Forgive me for not
7,
doing it.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I know, but your follow-throughs are
12 is our
starting.
membership and we have 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It makes tears come to my eyes.
It's 12:01.
It was very
This
funny.
time
Yesterday, I was in the doctor's office, I brought Carrie to see this neurologist.
Thanks for your comment.
They
Oh,
screwed up
I
the
went ahead.
reception area. And we were 45 minutes in the waiting room, people were
Do
going.
we have
ahead of us,
anybody
ahead
on
of
this?
us, ahead of us.
How can we-
Not yet, I'm
So, I
checking.
walked
I'm hoping
in,
that
like,
if Crystal is around or wants to
What
join,
normally wait for the better part of an hour.
because she seems to be the only
They really
one
had
who's trying.
made a mistake. They-
Yeah.
So they immediately ushered her into my laptop.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Carrie has.
Well-
For sure, from the defense people, PAs and so forth. The doctor comes in and he's really very nice. She seems
How was
to
your
soften
weekend?
a little bit.
Busy.
And then I
Yeah.
turned to him after
That's
he's
good.
done interviewing me, I go, would you like me to? eat for
Very
this?"
good.
He goes, oh, no, please don't.
I went to Hilltown Hot Fries after Bert said you guys were going.
Oh, yeah, did you like it?
It was one of the best times.
Spent
Which
the lucky $5.
but the way he did it, it
It's a long
made
wait,
me
it's
laugh.
great.
It
I
is.
laughed for the rest of the.
But you know what they do in the inside the building? They put on a
I think
concert
that's
in
great.
there.
Yeah, I loved
And
it.
it was, we weren't in there, but I went there into the ladies' room and I went through
How's
the
it going?
concert and it was
Good.
great.
Was it a good show?
Yeah, it was
The
like a
night I
bluesy
went-
show. It was a black woman singer and a man singer with her, and then there was like, you know, a fiddle and a violin.
Is that at that
Yes, set
place
back,
that crossed the body and soul,
Look at this.
Yeah.
spa?
yes.
What's it called? I can't
It's
remember.
called, I don't remember the name of it.
Why are they?
What is that?
Hilltown Pies should be over.
No, I know, why? Why not
That
John?
is-
You never realized you were
This is
huge.
renovating that.
Just.
And you appear in 2 places.
I do, but you know, I look
No, no.
enormous.
It's focusing on whoever's speaking.
Oh, really?
Wait, let's see
Did you have
Tommy.
Henry and
Oh,
Tommy?
Tom looks normal. Look at
Tommy,
me.
Tommy has,
Oh my
his
God.
grandson, Tommy is on the phone.
Britt still looks small.
Baby picture's freaky.
It's so cute.
It's freaky. That's how genetics works.
Yeah. Does this thing spin as it's doing it?
Nick looked huge.
If you make sound, it'll look at you.
Yes,
Beep, 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 beep.
it's a pretty fine owl.
So I think we can start now, right, Martha? You're
We
my,
have 7.
yeah.
Are we on
Thank you.
schedule?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're right on schedule. Okay.
12:03.
Huh?
12:03.
So, good afternoon, fellow board members. I'm going to call the July meeting of the Hudson Development Corporation to order. Thank you for your service to Hudson. Financial documents and minutes were circulated. We corrected your address next, so we'll be okay with that in the future. And also, peach rum should be taken off your list for sending. And then the finances went around also, so I hope you all had a chance to look at those. Can I have a motion to approve the June minutes?
Make that motion.
Paul, first, second, Britt, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? Okay, thank you for ratifying those. So since our June meeting, we've reached a few milestones on the General Edwards Building adaptive reuse project. We received a contract from the Hudson City School District on July 15th. They co-executed the contract, I don't think that's a term, but they signed the contract we had already signed. So we officially begin our 6 month of due diligence about now, which should put us in a decision to make a decision on purchasing the building close to the end of the year or early in January. On the 18th, the Common Council with Tom's help passed 2 resolutions. We prepared to support our applications for 3 development grants, which we're working on in the consolidated funding application. And all of these documents are an important part of supporting these applications. They took a lot of people a lot of work, so I just want to say thank you to those of you who are involved in that. The grant team, Phil, Jess, Britt, and Jan, have been building, and the building committee with Nick, Joe Rapp, Chip Bull, and Jennifer Crawford have put in a lot of hours gathering a lot of great information that is sort of difficult to find and unable to translate easily. And this is a tremendous part of the grant writing. And I'm very impressed with the hours and the kind of tenacity that you all have put into it. So thank you very much.
You too.
You're gonna give a report.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
Not right now. Okay. Part of the application included letters of support from community leaders, and we'll be including letters from Kamal, our mayor, Dr. Drummer at Columbia Green Community College, Dr. Dorothy Urschel of Albany Med, Columbia Memorial Hospital, Assemblymember Dee Dee Barrett, Senator Michelle Hinchy, Peter Frank of Friends of Hudson Youth, Liz York of the Hudson Youth Department, Suzanne Holdridge of Families of Woodstock and Child Care Connections, Mike Tucker of Columbia Economic Development, and several others whose names have escaped me, but I know they're coming in. I did get one letter from Jill Hanley, who's a teacher, and I just want to read it to you because it's kind of it's a letter, it's a heartfelt letter from someone in the community, and it's probably the beginning of what we're hopeful for the whole community. But dear grant reviewers, I'm writing to endorse emphatically the John L. Edwards Elementary School Adaptive Reuse Project in Hudson, New York. I'm a lifelong resident of Hudson and have been a teacher employed by the Hudson City School District for 30 years. My father served as a superintendent of public works for the city of Hudson for over 30 years, and my mother was a teacher's aide at the John L. Edwards building. Our roots run deep, both with the city and the educational system. I was once a teacher at JLE until we consolidated grades 3 and 4 at our Greenport school. I also served as a special education extended school year principal at JLE and utilized all spaces within the building for our summer program. Years later, after our district consolidated further, building one primary elementary campus at MC Smith and JLE was closed, I was worried about what might happen to this beautiful building. As a teacher in Hudson for so long, I've developed connections that go far beyond paper and pencil and have seen the growing need for a multi-purpose building for student and community use. It was actually a dream of mine after retirement to create such a building and incorporate as many agencies and services as possible. When Christine Jones shared with me the vision of our JLE space, I was beyond elated. This is exactly what our kids and families need. Our youth department has outgrown their facility. Our needs for continued adult and child education, health, and community services are great for a small city like ours. Being centrally located and within walking distance from almost anywhere in Hudson, the JLE campus will provide a much-needed hub of possibilities. Children's services, health services, community space, academic space, kitchen space, the possibilities are a vision of hope for creating lifelong learners and a center for community cohesiveness and networking. Over the past 2 years, I've attended numerous Board of Education meetings advocating for our students and colleagues. During many of those meetings, I sat alongside Ms. Jones as she prepared to advocate for the reuse project at JLE. Now, knowing our beloved educational building is going to stay and become the dream I once dreamed, I cannot state enough how much I love and support this endeavor. Our city, our vibe, our architecture, our memories, our priority of families and education. This preservation project demonstrates the unity symbolizing what we do here, who we are here, and who we want to be here in the future. I thank you for taking the time to read my heartfelt endorsement. With sincere gratitude, Jill Butterworth Hanley, third grade teacher, certified school district administrator, citizen mom.
Wow.
Great, very nice.
Very nice letter.
Charlie's daughter.
Yeah, Charlie Butterworth's daughter. She's a very nice one.
She's very nice.
So I think that's good for us to see it from another perspective, from someone outside of the government and our group, and I like her enthusiasm. So we will not have a meeting in August, though we won't be getting together. We will continue our work on this project to be in full swing. The building committee and the executive committee will continue meeting on matters of the finances of this project, and we'll continue to analyze the use of space for the tenants and how we might use that. So if there's any questions at this point, no, I'm going to turn this over to a financial report from Bill.
Sure.
Hopefully you received the income balance sheet, statement of activity and so on. From an investment point of view, our money continues to work for us, similar rate of delivering on an annualized basis, approximately 100 grand a year. You know, and I think I mentioned in the previous meeting that we put $115,000 in escrow for the acquisition. And as Chris mentioned, contracts are signed and approved, so the clock is running. Our 6-month due diligence period on the building has begun. Before I go into a little more detail on the work of the grant and where we're at and what Britt, Phil, and Jess have been preoccupied with, I want to read a email that just came in from New York State. Bless their hearts. Congratulations. Your New York State pre-qualification application has been reviewed and you are now pre-qualified to do business with New York State. Your organization is pre-qualified. You can now submit a bid response and so on. Anyway, that was kind of good news.
And that was the hardest thing that anyone had to do this whole month, was try to get through the bureaucracy
The portal.
system, the
All of
portal.
us on that
Horrible.
whole line.
The
Yeah.
portal is not pretty.
No, it was terrible. Really terrible.
But we're pre-qualified, and that actually was a pretty significant package that goes with.
It's a
We
big hurdle.
submitted 3 years of financials, including audit reports and so on. There were probably 6 or 7 different questionnaires, basically to see if we were in compliance with state law, whether we'd ever been bankrupt. Did we follow a code of ethics in terms of
ABO,
separating
all that,
Yeah, it was ABO related. So that's that package, it's out of the way. Jess is not here, but she has been for the last, 5 days and continues to populate our application. And I can tell you where we're at, I guess, in terms of strengths and weaknesses. The way we approached it was, I guess we created a bit of an acronym to try to keep our mind on the ball, because some of the materials cross all the applications and some have to be customized. What the state is essentially looking for is concept, which is what are you trying to accomplish from lots of dimensions, both in terms of physical space, but also conceptually, what are you trying to accomplish in terms of serving the community, what needs are being met, which populations are going to benefit, are you creating new jobs, et cetera. And for sure, that's a strong suit. If you read through all the state materials, the things that we touch on in this project, such as daycare, youth, community center, a hub for community services and so on, the revitalization of a building that is revered and has been part of the community. We touch all that, so we're great on concept. They then want to know what's it going to cost to do all this, and it gets sliced and diced in about 5 ways. What's it going to cost pre-development? What's it going to cost in terms of remediation issues? What's it going to cost in total? What's it going to cost as you allocate space to different functions? The addition of Chip and Jen, and who else is on the building too? Joe.
Joe Rapp.
And Britt Always, who's a virtual Swiss Army knife of skills, has raised our game
Yeah, really.
on this. We went from, I'm not sure, to we now have world-class professional descriptions, drawings, descriptions that meet the best standards of building and architectural practice.
And are worthy of great and serious consideration.
Absolutely. What's our credibility as an organization? Have you been around? What have you achieved?
Your
Who's
bios.
on your board?
Yeah.
They want bios and resumes from folks. They want to know what teams are going to stay with the project and manage it going forward. In other words, are you good stewards of what you're doing and do you fully understand what you're trying to do? The other area that was critical and compliments to Chris, who led
Says
a
host
lot
has
of
another
this.
meeting in progress.
It's our meeting.
Okay.
And compliments to Chris,
Excuse me.
pause,
Thank you.
is reaching out to people for these letters of support. That actually has been fantastically successful. And we have great ones, and we think that community input is very well covered. And last but not least, capacity, which is both organizational and money, and that's what we were talking about before the meeting started. We need to indicate what funding we can say is actually committed. We are in very good shape in terms of internal funding. I don't think everybody walks into this game
No,
with $2.5 million in cash.
yeah.
But the question is, what are your other sources? And put another way, how are you going to bridge this?
So do you think a letter on Thursday from Brand Sickles would be, we could elicit something like that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they're really saying, when, you know, we're going to give you, the total of the three is, let's say, $1.1 million, $1.2 million. And all of them basically are, you pay first
Yeah.
and we'll
okay.
compensate you later.
Reimbursable.
So they want to know that we have bridging capability.
Okay,
And
that's good.
that's a missing piece, and there aren't, believe it or not, there aren't too many other missing
That's
pieces.
pretty great.
If we cover that bridge thing, we're not too
Okay,
bad.
so let me ask you this. So the deadline is the 29th.
The deadline is 4 PM on the 31st.
Okay,
That's the drop dead for pushing the button.
okay, and Jess is away.
Jess is away, but for the most part, we've been meeting online anyway. And she's gonna stay online with us, and Britt is gonna stay online with us. So the three Benditos are not going away.
What day of the week is that?
The 31st?
Yeah,
That's a tough question. I have to open calendar on my new phone.
it's probably
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
So, Jess is in Belize,
Belize?
yeah, but we'll have computer access.
Okay,
She put me as a second person, but I'm out next week and will only have an iPad. But her third backup is her husband, who will have full computer access.
where is he?
Believe it.
Here,
Oh, he's here?
Hudson,
She's going along?
a friend.
Our friend, cool.
She's going with her boyfriend? No.
Yeah. Let's
No,
go
so,
back
so
room.
her husband is ready
We'll have
to,
all the logins also,
okay,
and we'll have, proper access. But everything's
Scary.
going to be uploaded, the only thing you have to do is hit submit.
okay. I just want to say that there was one other person in Hudson who was applying for a grant and had a catastrophic fail at the moment of entry.
Button pushing?
Yes, and so I'm a little cautious about
Good.
the scariness of this. And, you know, Tom's aware of that situation, so hopefully we won't have it happen again.
So we have 3 backups.
Okay, good. Okay.
So the plan is for her to hit submit,
Yes.
and on what day?
Wednesday.
When
Which
Oh, we should
well,
wait until Wednesday.
we could do it before, but that's the drop dead.
Yeah, we should
No, I
wait
understand
until
that.
Wednesday.
He sent him over, he was the commercial paper.
What do you, say more, Martha.
Just, things happen, and,
I agree.
we really shouldn't wait until Wednesday.
No, I mean, we can pop
I
that
agree with you.
in
We
earlier,
submit-
correct?
She's ready to submit, she's just waiting on a financial support
Yes,
letter.
this thing, this
Yeah.
letter.
And then
Yeah.
once you have that, she's ready.
We're basically, what I'm trying to say is there are a couple more bits and pieces. And I don't want to get dinged on crap like that. They wanted an assessor to assess.
Did you get that guy? Anybody?
I got another guy,
Good.
and we're gonna have that Wednesday morning
Perfect.
this week.
Okay, good, that's good.
So that's out of the way. We're gonna meet with Brian on Thursday.
Yeah, and maybe Dan.
And Dan, I think we should get Dan there too.
Friedman had a couple of other suggestions
Okay,
of money folks. One of them, he can't approach directly, but I will as a client.
I gotcha. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so I think if we have two of those on the bridge,
And what about your Goldman Sachs lady? She write a letter?
she wants a show. She wouldn't,
She wants a dog and pony show.
she wants a dog and pony show.
Okay, and I'll reach out to Lisa Shallett and see if she would write a letter. She's the Morgan Stanley Chief Wealth Investment person.
That's plenty, Chris. No, I mean, nobody has quite that much cash, I think, anyway, we're good on that. If we can say that that this is committed. I was also talking to someone about, a rural funding scheme. I think it's ADA or something like that, but I'm gonna pursue that. They are in the business in regions defined as predominantly rural, which we are,
John Frieden about it, okay.
to,
Yeah, the city did.
to support with a 4% bridge loan.
Yeah, well, ADA,
USDA.
USDA, sorry,
USDA is the same as me.
they're a little different. Thank you. I think that'll cover that.
Very good.
And that's,
So
I
do
don't
think
have
to
much other
Martha's-
missing bits.
Yeah, I do think to Martha's point, we should gather up the missing bits and try to submit it 3 days before the ending deadline because with trying to just.
Oh,
get some-
I'm totally with you. I go
Okay.
nuts otherwise.
Okay, good.
Call it Monday.
Okay. Ooh, exciting. Okay, thank you.
But we
for-
come a long way and thanks to everybody.
Okay, did you want to go through any other financials?
I lost track. The ongoing thing is that, we have so far this year, really UH-wise, not connected, but associated with the project, plus 12 on UH-wise, call it about $66,000 of project-related expenses. I've got, two more bills I know are coming in the pipeline. One is an additional payment to, Bowl Architects.
Yes, I say.
That total was approved.
Okay.
The fee for a 24-hour turnaround assessment is $700,
Okay,
which seems good. The guy was going fast, and he's gonna let me look at it first, which is nice. And maybe one or two more, so probably at the end of the day, maybe another 20 grand of related
did you
expenses
put-
coming on board.
and those expenses were factored into the grant estimates?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, okay. Good.
more than.
Yeah.
No, we asked for
Yeah,
more
no,
than.
yeah, good. Okay, so if that's this sum total of your financial report, I'm asking for a motion to approve Bill's financial report. Nick first, second, Paul, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, and that would be the grant application update also, which is.
It is.
So, old business, Ambient Environmental has been in the building the last, 2 weeks ago for 2 days. They're gonna be updating the report they did in 2019 to what the conditions are currently. It's not a complete redo, but it's an update on the report that they did then. They're in the building today, tomorrow, and Thursday, taking samples and making notes, and those samples will then go into the lab, and the lab's various testing labs, and then they'll get them back. And they will make a report for us based on the findings that'll be pretty documented, all the details of all the toxins and asbestos and lead and everything else. So I started reaching out to remediating firms that I got the names of from Ambient and one other company separately. We will have to, when we go forward with this will be a 3-bid situation. So I wanted to start a relationship with them to see what their schedule is like and stuff. And 2 of them asked for the previous reports from Ambient from 2019, which I sent to them. They're gonna have a look at them, and then we'll have a conversation probably sometime tomorrow about what they think, what they'd be looking for. Once we have the report back, the testing back, we'll review what they came up with, and we will, be submitting it for for bid, and it'll probably be sometime in September at our meeting, we'll be looking at those. Consolidated grant applications, Phil just did that. And a part of his last review of that is a financial plan. We're moving into a phase now where we really feel like we need to be focusing on the financial piece of it. We are meeting with Brian Stickles, and Nick suggests Dan, who is their municipal loan guy. We met with him first, and so we'll have him back again. I think both of them should come if they can, that would be great.
Perfect.
What else did I want to say about that? Just we'll be expanding the net of financing. I do want to say that the Pocketbook Factory did get a $7 million loan from the state commercial property assessed clean energy financing program, which we'll be looking into. As it kind of sounds like the similar, kind of a use that the Pocketbook Factory qualified under, perhaps we would too, so I'll look into that. And any other questions on the financial piece? Anybody want to offer a candidate for us to reach out to? Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are two
Okay.
categories.
I don't wanna put their name.
There are two categories on the financial thing, committed and who you anticipate talking to. And both are good. So if we had 2 or 3 folks who said, yeah, we'll bridge you, and another few that we could put down as people we would be in conversation with,
Yeah.
we're well covered on that.
Okay, great. We're gonna resume our business roundtables in September. This time, we're gonna collaborate with the chamber. The chamber has added a lot of new members, and Gary has expressed interest in collaborating on it. He was gonna start his own business roundtable. So we'll converge all of the business people together, and he has a couple of candidates that he thinks would make great speakers, so we'll be looking to put that together for probably the second week in September. Back to school, back to business. And the other thing is Winter Walk. Last year, the city, HDC, HCB, Hudson Business Coalition, and Hudson Hall collaborated on the 26th year of the walk. Was it the 26th year, something like that? And it was a very good collaboration. It did still reside mostly in Hudson Hall's nest. We, as you know, kicked in $5,000 to support a staff person to coordinate with Sage and the other people that were working on it from September. And we may want to consider doing that again. I haven't had a chance to meet with Tammy to talk about what they're gonna do, so when I find out what they're doing, we'll have a conversation again about how we wanna support it. I think it's gonna make a serious transition this year, because I think that Hudson Hall is pushing some of it out. So we'll have to see how that looks and who we could line up to help. We'll talk about that in September. And finally, this Thursday, we're gonna be awarding the Oakdale Plunge check, 2 checks, one to the Hudson Youth Department and one to the Hudson Fire Department at Oakdale at 3 o'clock. If anyone wants to come be in that picture, we would love to have you. I invited the Register Star to attend. I haven't heard back from them. Liz York from the Youth Department will be there, and Jen Crawford, I think, is gonna represent the Fire Department.
And when is it?
Huh?
When-
Jen,
When
No,
is the?
Thursday.
Thursday at 3.
Okay.
And we can put those photos on our website once we have them. So the other thing, I think I skipped over it, but I think we need to start working on our public engagement strategy. Jill said to me, there's so many people who wanna get involved and they wanna know more and they're all excited. And so I think that Jan I spoke to Jan earlier, and Jan and I think we are going to try to put together a team to work on this, to get a strategy so we know what we're doing first, and then do a rollout. We've talked about a lot of different things, like having a town hall at the library where we announce the ideas. We would have some graphics to show about our plans and who what it might look like. And then we also talked with Phil briefly about putting out a MailChimp email to people that would be some sort of a survey or, a questionnaire about it. All these things could work together and some will absolutely have to work, like a public meeting. And so we need to really be thinking about that now. We need to get it out in the public.
And Seth is engaged, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said he absolutely would help on the communication
Yeah.
stuff as well as identifying different media and ways to use it.
Who's that?
Seth Rutherford.
Seth Rutherford,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I think that I've never done this kind of a public thing,
Mhm.
and there must be someone who knows sort of the protocol.
Yeah.
For that. I mean, I think we should definitely have we were talking, Phil, about the meeting in the like a public meeting in the library room. And we can get PDFs, blown up of the space itself.
Even I think old fashioned stuff, sometimes like a simple one sheet
Yes.
or foldable brochure
Yes,
with photographs of the concept can be really useful.
Yes.
It could be distributed in a number of different ways.
I'm gonna be searching for someone who's done this though. Jan and I talked about somebody
Oh,
who
cool.
has done a
do you think Jane
strategic outreach.
Trombley didn't she do that in her second
Columbia?
career?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Ask her.
Okay.
I know she did. She may have done something like that for the city university.
That's what I thought.
Because she was in the provost's office at the
Yes.
city
Is
university.
that what he does?
That's what he does. He's really gifted at it.
Nick is suggesting Bob Meckling, who's done
I mean,
this
he's
many
done some
times.
very good work
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah. I don't know him, but I've heard of it.
Okay, good. Okay, and that's it. So that's all I have. Does anyone want to bring anything else up that is in their head? Scott? Okay, if there's nothing else and you don't want to, we'll take a break and you can have a snack.
We don't work in.
I may have a motion to adjourn the July meeting.
So moved.
Thank you, Martha.
I second.
Paul, and third, Dick. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, people.
So Brett,
Yeah.
you were away?
I'm gone next week, yeah. I gotta take care of my dad.
He's very good at this. I mean.
Can you and I talk further
Yeah.
about surviving the rest of the week? Because I reckon if we get our heads screwed on
He
right
likes you.
and get this
He knows
bridge
Having